ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Liverpool Latest. Before I get into today's game, I want you to understand the day I've had leading up to this game. Alright? I've had to be up at 3:30 in the morning to work an 8-hour shift at a job that I absolutely hate from 4:30 a.m. to 12:30, only to directly go from that job to another job that I actually like a lot more. That was an absolute dumpster fire of a day because everything was falling apart. Somehow I put out the fires, but it was not a happy time. All while this is going on, I am watching probably one of the worst matches of football I have ever seen since becoming a fan of this great sport. From Liverpool Football Club. This was one of the most dreadful, uninspired, pitiful displays of the season. It might be the absolute worst game we have played, and that includes some of the worst losses we have had this season. Whether it be the last time we faced Leeds, what was it, the 3-0 loss against Brentford? Like, nothing. Shit. Even the fucking Crystal Palace game for the Carabao Cup. Nothing has been... Those were bad, but this was terrible. This sucked more than a $5 hooker in Myrtle Beach on a Saturday night. Don't ask me how I know that. I won't tell you my sources. That said, that's how bad this team was today. It is the first day of the year. It is January 1st. And we have... And when everything is hopefully changing for the better, even with some of the worst wins we've had, nothing changes at all. And I don't think any January transfer window could come close to helping this team. All right? I have seen all I need to see. That does not even a sentence. I'm so tired I can't even form a correct sentence. I apologize. This is not going to be my best work today, ladies and gentlemen. I have no words for everything. I will tell you some stats, though, because I feel like I owe you that much. This game, the biggest stat in this game today for me was the offsides. We had 6 total offsides to Leeds' 1. All right? And I'll get to that offside in a few minutes. But at least 3/4 of those offsides came to us in the first half of the game. A lot of them from Ekitike, shockingly. I would expect some bullshit like that from Darwin Núñez when he was on this team, when the best chances he could have possibly had were squandered by not knowing he was offside. That was Liverpool today. They were the epitome of Darwin Núñez. And that's all I have to say. And if you think I'm fucking crazy, go back and watch Darwin Núñez's last few years. I think that man, had more offsides than anybody I had seen in this fucking sport, because that was pitiful, dreadful watching. As good as he is at times, the offsides he would create from good chances that we were having is painful. It was painful to watch. 6 offsides is not going to do it for me, Chief. I'm sorry. That's just a terrible fucking number to have, regardless of who you ask. We also had 8 corners today. And guess what? As you can imagine, seeing the score, it's, nothing happened with them. Firing the set-piece coach clearly has not done any wonders. It's the same problems. Defending the corners, They were okay. They did what they needed to do against Leeds' three corners. But what I really want to talk about is this uninspired, slow, nauseatingly tiresome play that we are having this season. Let me tell you a story about the New York Yankees and why I'm making this comparison. Years ago, I'd say not too long after the pandemic, the New York Yankees were absolutely killing it when it came to hitting. Home runs left and right, okay? We had a murderer's row of hitters in our lineup. If you watch baseball, you understand. However, umpires would give us bullshit, all right? And our still somehow manager of this team, Aaron Boone, walks up to the umpire, getting thrown out in the process, mind you, in the most G way you can possibly imagine, and says, our guys are fucking savages in the box. And the Yankees ran with that for the rest of the year. Even fans made merch of that shit that wasn't even official by the Yankees. Now, we'd be shocked if we score a single on bases loaded with no outs. That's how bad we've become as a baseball team. How does this compare to Liverpool, you might ask? What the fuck does baseball have to do with football? Let me tell you. Years ago, when I started watching this team was a murderer's row of strikers, score creators, chance creators, making goalkeepers work for saves. Okay? Giving Alisson Becker nonstop clean sheets. And even with close games, we still found ways to dominate. Where is that team now? This is like a 3 or 4 years difference I'm talking about between what I started watching and what I'm currently seeing now. The setups are incredibly fucking slow. It's almost, I can fall asleep like I am right now, not having slept since 3:30 this morning. I could fall asleep watching that game. That would have been all the melatonin I needed, was watching Liverpool in the final third. Because they can't create a fucking chance if a gun was pointed to their fucking heads, alright? It's appalling what we are doing right now. Anfield, as a stadium for Liverpool, was a fortress for Klopp throughout his years as manager. Okay? That man spent God knows how many hours and God knows how many games creating Anfield into an absolute fear, like something that struck fear in the hearts of opposing sides that would enter it. We don't strike fear anymore. Hell, the crowd doesn't even fucking care about the game because they don't say a fucking word. They don't say shit. They'll chant the 20-minute Diogo Jota chant, as they should, rest in peace. And that's like the loudest you'll hear the game. That's it. There isn't a fucking thing that this team can do that can make that crowd utter a fucking word. And it's like listening to crickets on television, all right? I remember years ago when this team was, or even when I started watching, even as early as, or even as late as last year, this team was loud. They created a crowd that was loud and passionate. And this, I don't know, the term slot ball that we had last year is nothing more than a freaking facade for slow, mediocre, methodical play that leads to getting blocked in the final third by some fuck-off defender from God knows where, for who God knows what team he plays. Alright? That's what we are now. We don't fucking score goals. We allow teams to basically counter us at every chance that we have. This is, I should be ashamed to be a fan of this team. You should be ashamed. This team should be ashamed of the performances they're putting out in front of us. Not just today, but the last, since we won the championship. All of these games, even the games before this last season ended, were terrible. You would think to yourself, this is not a championship team. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. And it all comes down to Slot's tactics. What tactics? The guy fucking subbed off Florian Wirtz for Cody fucking Gakpo partway through the game, okay? Where the fuck did that idea come from? I'm not saying Wirtz was doing spectacular. Honestly, nobody really did spectacular this game. The best player on the side by far was Jeremy Frimpong, okay? That man was everywhere. Absolute lightning rod, all right? I mean, was running back and forth. Hell, even Rio, when he came onto the field for like the 15 minutes he was on, arguably the best player at that time on the field, okay? That's it. Nobody else really did shit, all right? Florian Wirtz wasn't spectacular, but at least he was trying to create chances, all right? He was trying to create chances, and then they subbed on Kirkes, okay? In addition to that, and Kirkes and Gakpo don't fucking mesh well. It's clear as day. Robertson and Gakpo, that would have been a better combination from left back to left wing, all right? But Kirkes and Gakpo, abysmal. You can tell the stuff that Kirkes is trying to give to him is being squandered by Gakpo at every turn. All to pass backwards, all right? All to kick it backwards. I'd be livid if I'm Kirkes right now. That man should be pissed at Gakpo for the shit he was doing when they subbed him on. I would be pissed, all right? I know the worst part about it all is like the formations, all right? And I keep harping on this every time. This formation doesn't work. It doesn't create anything for us, all right? Ever since Slot started using this on a consistent basis, the 4-2-3-1, tell me one game that has actually been useful for us. It's clearly not doing anything for anybody here. I wish he would move on to something else, change it up a little bit. I'm not saying he's got to do 4-3-3, which would have been my preferred formation, mostly because it's easy for me to remember who's playing where. But even then, it's not doing anything. It's not working. I don't know why he's insisting on continuing to do it. I don't know why he's insisting on fucking playing Cody Gakpo at every fucking turn. Federico Chiesa's right there. Even then, Chiesa sucked balls today, too. He did not do a great job either. He had some great runs, don't get me wrong, and he was going to create he was on the verge of creating some great chances, but there were some other times where he was just shitter, all right? I also didn't get the chance to mention in the last segment, all right? The only reason this game is a draw, by the way, is because Leeds' one offside was off of a goal, all right? Let me explain here, all right? Give me a second. I'm trying to find the name because this guy's name always... Dominic Calvert-Lewin, excuse me. I don't know why it took me forever to figure out this guy's name. He's got a long-ass name. Dominic Calvert-Lewin hits a ball into the net, getting past Allison, and at that point, I was like, it's over. It's over, bro. Then they called it an offside, and I think I've never been more relieved to have an offside called in a game in my life, all right? That's the only reason why this game was 0-0. If that ball isn't... If he isn't offside, Calvert-Lewin, we lost this game. We lost points. We lost points anyway, but 1 point's better than no points, and we're lucky we even got 1 point. Truthfully, if I'm being wholeheartedly honest with you. So, it begs the question, what's going to happen now? It's only going to get worse from here, folks, and I'll tell you why. And look at the schedule we got coming up. Fulham on Sunday, away on the 4th. Arsenal, a few days afterwards, on at their stadium. They play Barnsley in the FA Cup not too long after that. Then they play Burnley at home, followed by, I'm going to butcher this, I swear, Marseille, for I assume it is the Champions League on the 21st. The 24th, they play Bournemouth. The 28th, which I believe is another Champions League game, they're playing Karabag FK. Again, I probably butchered that. I am so sorry. And then the last match of the month is Newcastle. It's just like back-to-back-to-back games, man. This is going to be an absolute shit show of a month for us. So we better shape up. There's no way we're beating Arsenal in this state. With our poor set-piece defense, and our poor ability for striking, and our poor defense? Oh, Arsenal's going to have a field day with us, bro. This is going to be the 7-0 United game, except against us. I'm not looking forward to this. I am not. And I hate Fulham with all my heart. God forbid Tony Khan, who's like a part owner or full owner of Fulham, fucking wins a match and I gotta see him tweeting. It's bad enough he's always touting about AEW, which is a wrestling promotion for those of you that are unaware that he owns as well. It's bad enough he always touts AEW and they're just as shit. And he has a football team, or partially owns a football team that's also shit. So, God forbid I see him tweet something positive if they win that game. So I'm gonna, my head's gonna explode. My head's gonna fucking explode. I need to get some sleep. It's 8:30 at night. I've been up since 3:30. I'm gonna get some sleep. Hopefully tomorrow I have a much more calm video for you. After about a good 16 hours of me laying in bed. So, thank you guys for watching today's Liverpool Latest. I appreciate you being here. It's not a good start to 2026, folks. It's only going to get rougher from here. You never walk alone, I guess.